Why are you... Fuck, god damn it. Every time I get a kill, I get a death. I'm trying to get decent gameplay for the video, and I get a kill, and then some dude's just like watching me.
Welcome to Worst Gun and Shooter History, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying this series, because this is the World War II edition, where I go over World War II guns that have been snuck away in games that do not take place during World War II. And this week, as you can see on screen, we're looking at the Thompson, the M1A1 Thompson in Battlefield Hardline. And now, I wanted to pull up some weapon stats, because Battlefield fans, you love your numbers, you love your stats, and I'd love to give them to you, but I play my Battlefield games on console. I know that probably made a lot of you cringe, but I like to play my Battlefield games on console, and all of the Battlefield Hardline stats are for PC. I didn't know that the last time I made a Worst Gun and Shooter History episode on Battlefield Hardline, so I don't even know if the stats that I saw lined up with the experience I was actually having. So instead of showing you weapon stats and saying maybe these line up with my experiences, I'm just gonna share my experiences. But first, let me just talk about this for a second. I have been playing Titanfall, Doom, Call of Duty, and Squad. Those are the shooters I've been playing, and between there's also been some Halo and some Verdun. I have not really tried to do well at a Battlefield game in a while, and the matches I was getting into on Hardline had some of the worst team balancing ever. The gameplay you're seeing here is terrible, and it has to be heavily edited. It has to have other pieces of gameplay cut in with it, because it's so many deaths because I just kept dying, but I still led my team with a Thompson. Now I know in Conquest, you should be playing the objective, but if you're playing the objective really hard, but you're not killing enemies like this dude here, the enemies are just gonna run over the top of your team and get those objectives back very quickly. So me not playing Battlefield for a while and having some bad teammates, I'm sorry the gameplay isn't great. Also, I'm using the fucking M1A1, and this SMG, this PDW, this gun, is usable. This is not a horrible, don't touch it weapon, but no attachments is the way I get gameplay for these things. The gun by itself. I don't want attachments. Attachments can make the gun better or make it worse, and then it just kind of becomes the worst combinations or the best combinations in FPS history. No, we're looking at the gun itself. These sights are terrible. Just fucking horrible. The accuracy is bad, the bullet velocity felt slow as shit, and the rate of fire made killing people up close feel like an exercise in patience. There are so many fast-firing, fast time-to-kill weapons in Battlefield Hardline. DPS is the meta in Battlefield Hardline, the way they balance the weapons. So the Thompson, you are basically trading accuracy and rate of fire for a cool-looking gun. And honestly, Battlefield Hardline reminds me of like an Infinity Ward Call of Duty, because Infinity Ward Call of Duties usually have lower recoil, faster firing weapons, faster times to kill. So when you go into it with a gun that kicks a lot and doesn't hit very hard and has a slow rate of fire. Now what I could see from the PC stats is that this gun actually has the similar damage model to most of the other PDWs, SMGs, whatever you want to call them, but it fires slower and it kicks a lot. Now when you put the attachments on the Thompson in Battlefield Hardline, it's a lot better, but unfortunately again I don't do that in this series because that ruins the point. There are two other World War II guns I'm gonna have to cover in this game, not all in a row, so don't think you're gonna have the next 2 weeks being Battlefield Hardline videos for this series, but they'll be spread out in there. What I like about them is that they're not useless weapons, and this is something I really love about these guns in this game, is they're clearly at a disadvantage compared to the other weapons, but they're not unusable, they're not just a gimmick, they're actually kind of fun to play around with. I believe this is the proper way to implement a World War II gun into your game. It should be outclassed, but it shouldn't be so useless that you immediately want to switch to a better gun. I love the idea of World War II guns in modern day or futuristic shooters. Because first of all, it's a nod to the fact that the shooter market was completely controlled by World War II shooters at the time. If you don't like all of the futuristic shooters that happened in the last 4 years, go back 10 years and just watch shooters from 1998 to like fucking 2007. Like, it's just World War II shooters, and there was more after that obviously, but between Medal of Honor and Call of Duty and all of the other franchises that are probably underrated and underknown, there was a lot. So when games started taking risks and doing modern day shooters and doing futuristic shooters and even more contemporary shooters like cops versus criminals, it's cool to see that these guns are still around because these are iconic weapons that are fun to use. One of the reasons I'm excited for Call of Duty World War II after I thought about it for a while is I do miss the BAR, the STG, the M1 Garand, the M1 Carbine. It's pronounced carbine, I looked it up, but I mean, every time I say carbine, people get pissy with me. Anyway, I like these guns because they remind me of sitting in my living room playing Medal of Honor Vanguard. It reminds me of playing Call of Duty 2 with my friends. And now a lot of people take historical accuracy almost a little too seriously, especially when it comes to movies and video games. Historical accuracy, I'm sorry, it has to come second to gameplay and entertainment value. And I feel like Battlefield Hardline with this Thompson, I feel like it did a good job because it's not good, but it's not terrible. It's definitely usable. But I have to say, the iron sights, the recoil, and the rate of fire make it, oh god, it makes it hell to try to do well with. And maybe some of you Battlefield Hardline fans can let me know, does this gun have terrible bullet velocity, or am I high? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I came from a lot of hit scan games very recently, so maybe I'm just not used to the bullet speed, but I don't remember Battlefield bullets being that slow. Like, hitting moving targets felt like garbage. So, okay, you caught me. There's not much to talk about with this gun. It's a Thompson. It's not very good. It kicks a lot. It fires slowly. It's outclassed by other guns. There's not much to say. But what I will say is that it was fun to use, it's satisfying to get kills with, and if you own Battlefield Hardline, I recommend getting some kills with the Springfield, the M1 Carbine, there I said it, and the M1A1 Thompson. I recommend going in and having some fun with those. So now that we've looked over the MP44, I kept getting corrected that it was the STG. I was just calling it what it was in Modern Warfare Remastered. It says MP44, not STG44. And when you look up MP44, a Wikipedia page for the STG comes up, so apparently it's just a different name, so fuck you. I'm sure I'm wrong. So we've covered that, we covered the MP44, and now we've covered the Thompson in Battlefield Hardline. So we have Call of Duty, Modern Warfare Remastered, and we have Battlefield Hardline. And then, where are we gonna go next? Where's another good World War II weapon? I don't know, you guys guess down in the comment section, and let me know if you want me to throw M1911s into this, because I'll just start throwing in 1911s. I don't care about gun nuts and historical buffs. I'll just start throwing in 1911s. We'll just go over all the fucking 1911s. That's like 30 videos right there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye!